So today we are in a little race car because we are in the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution X Final Edition Group 4 race car. So with it being a race car, it means it comes already fully kitted. It comes standard on racing hard tires. It comes with a crazy amount of downforce, and well, with it still having all-wheel drive, it makes the vehicle extremely grippy. Now, even though it is a race car, we still find understeer. That is what we find. So the one I'm actually in now is actually fully upgraded, which is kind of a stretch, even saying that your one wheel peeled and the front wheel was smoking up. So this vehicle is actually on racing softs, max downforce, that is I think 200 in the front, 350 in the rear, and over 500 brake horsepower. Now with this vehicle, we aren't going to be able to do any weight reduction. We aren't going to be able to really change much with it, because with it being a race car, parts are very limited. But anyway, it is still a very fast vehicle. It has to be. It is a race car. So with update 1.61 to Gran Turismo 7, we see that this car is actually receiving an engine swap. Now the engine swap we have for this car is one I really didn't expect to go into it. Reason being, well, we see the engine swap we have available is coming out of the R35 GTR Nismo edition. So for 193,500 credits, we boost the power up to now 591 brake horsepower. Yes, we do add quite a bit of weight into it, but this is the thing, the tuning capability. So once we swap this engine in, we're gonna take it on over to the tuning shop. Now in the tuning shop, we find that we do have ultimate parts, and that's the thing, this is just the start. So we're gonna start off ultra high RPM turbocharger, which already shoots us up to over 700 brake horsepower, and with the titanium connecting rods and pistons, we're almost at 800. But here's the issue, with it being a race car, we see things like our carbon ceramic brakes unavailable, but we see a boatload of other parts we can add. So yeah, let's start slapping him in. Now after spending a hefty amount, we are left with 1042 brake horsepower. Once again, we cannot touch the weight, so we are locked in at 1415 kgs. So look, decent power, decent weight, and with the all-wheel drive system, the amount of downforce we have, well, it should be quite an exciting experience. I hope that the vehicle will be able to actually maintain or keep composure, be able to just be really good at this power level, and that it is not too much power for the Evo to handle. Now we see when it comes to customization, what's that? Because with it being a race car, you don't really have much you can change to it besides paint, color, wheels, and obviously your livery. So once you have slapped on a livery that you like or anything like that, well, take it back out onto circuit. Okay, so first experience with the now GTR swapped Evo, yeah. Oof. Wait. Power delivery extremely strong. We see almost doing 300 kilometers per hour there. Understeer galore, yo. Let's hope it doesn't carry that same behavior through the rest of the course. It sounds incredible. The front wheel spinning up again, shift. Front did lift up. Handling's not too worse on the Evo. Like the power didn't really disrupt anything. It doesn't feel like it's negatively affected it. I say that as a spin out. So that I caught that slide there. Yay. So first lap, 1 minute 46. Obviously not the best due to the fact of, well, I ran extremely wide, I spun out, and I was just not setting optimal lines. Let me just put it like that. The sound is so beautiful. Taking this corner extremely wide. Almost ran off circuit. That could have been so much better. Front wheels in the air on the brakes. Downshift to second. Turn in. Missed that apex. Hit this one on the power. Climb the hill, climb the hill. A smoke show there. See now, power, shift. Almost ended up off circuit there, but let's see now, lap time wise, what do we see here? 1 minute 33. Not as fast as I was expecting, but not a slow lap. Not a slow lap at all. But obviously this is still a very fast vehicle. But with the swapping in the GTR engine, it has changed something, because with it being a Group 4 race car, it means it had somewhat of decent fuel efficiency. However, now with us taking that engine out and putting the GTR engine, we also changed how much fuel the vehicle actually uses. So now we're going to take it around the WTC 700. We're going to do a single lap and just see how much fuel is used in that first lap. What we're going to do, both cars, we're going to slap them on fuel map level 6 and see, no, we're going to slap it on fuel map level 3 and see how far we get. So we're going to see fuel map level 3. And we're not gonna be doing any fuel saving tactics. We're gonna see how much fuel we actually save now. Starts off with the GTR swap. Right now we're absolutely blowing the doors off the opponents. You see, coming down the straightaway, we are currently doing 290 kilometers per hour. It is absolutely sweet. That's 300, 310, and we slam on the brakes doing 312 kilometers per hour, which is quite impressive. Now we gotta remember, we do have over 800 brake horsepower, but we see the fuel consumption is absolutely dropping. You see, we are currently at 75% of fuel, and it is absolutely guzzling as we go. But we are closing in on first place. Just look at that, like the cars are parked. So under braking, we'll get a Corvette. Completed the first lap in 4 minutes and 2 seconds, but more importantly, we are left with 33% of fuel. So on fuel map level 3, it is an absolute guzzler, but it is extremely fast. Now what do we have? Now we're gonna run the same test, this time with the vehicle having its standard engine in, just with a high RPM turbocharger. So fully upgraded, we're looking at just under 600 brake horsepower, so that's less than 200 compared to the GTR swap. But we are focusing on fuel efficiency. So once again, no fuel saving tactics. We are run the car to its limiter, then we are gonna shift. Same tire, compound tires as well, and let's see the difference. So we saw I was doing 312 kilometers per hour before I had to slam on the brakes to make it around the first chicane. So let's see now how fast we can hit in this Evo, and already I can tell you we are not gonna hit anywhere near 312. But so far we are chugging along quite nicely, doing 260, 270 right now, and we're making decent progress. We're doing 282 before I slam on the brakes, and we barely make it. So we see that is a massive difference. But talking about differences, we see with the GTR swap we were at 75% of fuel remaining, and now we are at 91. So I think I can clearly put my stamp of approval on it and say, look, if you're using the Lancer for racing that has fuel consumption applied, the GTR swap is not a go-to. However, if you're just looking for an extremely fast Group 4 race car, well, here's your answer. We see the GTR swap completely transforms the capabilities of the Lancer, and it works. I mean, it lays its power down, the handling isn't changed that much, your driving style doesn't need to change. The Lancer actually handles the power extremely well. So with it having with 1000 horsepower, 800 horsepower, the GTR swap is still very fast. Now something I must remind you, you cannot use your engine swap Group 4 vehicle online. It will not allow you, so it is really just for your odd races here and there. But the thing is, so with it being a race car, you aren't going to be able to enter into some of the events that have restrictions on it. So it's a very niche engine swap, like where you can actually use it in races, but for the races you can use it in, it is still a fun fast vehicle. Because look, the vehicle costs 335,000 credits, the engine swap's under 200,000, so for under $500,000 before upgrades, you are getting a decently quick vehicle. Especially if you are an Evo fanboy, well, here's your answer. That should be a penalty too. But yeah, there's your answer. Clear as day. Yeah, there's a penalty. I knew it. So the Evo swap, well, the Evo with the GTR swap in it, it's good, it's fun, and there's nothing I can really complain about. It's a very solid engine swap, and it does what you need it to do. Super easy to drive, understand, and just comprehend. So where you're gonna use it, I don't know, but we see now the difference. The GTR swap was over 10 seconds faster, but we see this car can still go on to do another 2 laps, whereas the GTR wasn't even going to be able to complete the next lap. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts and opinions of the GTR swap Evo in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.